Hello, today I would like to share with you information from a book I read called Parenting Teens with Love and Logic by the authors Foster Cline and Jim Fay. On this book, I've learned that there is 4 different types of parenting. The first one is the drill sergeant, and we all grew up with that type of parenting. The second one, it is a helicopter parent. And it is the type of parent that is always there to solve their son and daughter's problems. The third one is a carefree parent. It is the type of parent that probably doesn't have the energy or doesn't think that has the skills or the abilities to be in charge. So their kids are the ones that run the home. On the fourth one is the consultant parent or parenting style, and it is the one the author focused the most. It is the one I need to learn to develop the skills of the consultant parent. And you might be wondering, well, what is a consultant parent? It is the one that gives choices. It is the one that says, do I need to pick you up at 5 or do I need to pick you up at 5:30? It all depends on your expectations. You offer choices based on your expectations. A consultant parent doesn't dictate. A consultant parent shows empathy. It shows understanding. It gives advice. That consultant parent also sets expectations, and they set consequences. So those are the characteristics of a consultant parenting. Now, another way for us to improve our teenager mindset could be by asking questions. I had no clue that by asking questions, we encourage their thoughts and we encourage their exploration. We can learn to ask more questions. That is something I have to work on. The author gives a few examples like, hey, honey, what would happen if you don't get into, your college of choice? What do you think you would do? Or you can ask questions like, hey, what would you do if you get a speeding ticket? How would you pay for it? I'm just wondering because you don't have no money. So how would you pay for it? We can start planting seeds of scenarios that could happen in the future. But the author says that we always have to do it with compassion, with empathy. Because a teenager usually shows their independence by being quiet, by not sharing enough. But if we learn to master the skill of asking questions in a way where we truly share our empathy, our compassion, our curiosity, because we love them, most likely they're going to open up and talk to us. That's what the author says. So that's one way, asking questions, asking tons and tons of questions to plant the seeds of what could happen if, Another way that the author gives us an advice to build their self-concept is by giving responsibilities. Whenever they have responsibilities, whenever they know that they're doing a good job, whenever they know that they feel, they start feeling good about themselves, that's whenever they learn best. So it is good for us to help them with that, having responsibilities and allow them to be responsible, because we are preparing them to become adults that are independent, that we don't have to be there solving their problem every time, they turn around. We want them to take care of themselves. We want them to think on their own whenever they become an adult. So that's why we need to start asking questions. That's why we need to encourage them to take responsibilities for their actions. That is a big one that I read over and over and over again. We must have consequences for their actions. We cannot just be fixing their problems every time we have a chance to help them, because we would enable them, to become responsible adults whenever they grow up. So we need to start now whenever they're teenagers and know that there's consequences for every actions that we have. The book says that, and Tony Robbins says that the quality of our decisions equals the quality of our life. So if we can kind of teach them about the quality of their decisions equals the quality of their life, hopefully they'll get it by the time they're adults. But we also have to give them room to mess up. That's another subject the author talks about, is like they have to mess up so they can learn from their mistakes. So I would like to share with you some of the phrases that the author share for us to start kind of asking questions and showing our empathy. And the first one, it says, I'm wondering if graduating high school is not important to you. Because I see that your grades are not improving. It's like, I'm wondering if graduating high school is not important to you. That could be a way to start a conversation where we're not attacking them, but you're just wondering, like with empathy. We could say, oh, I'm curious about, those feelings that you're having. I've noticed that those decisions that you're taking here lately are not benefiting you. I'm curious what's going on. How are you feeling? How can I help you? You can say, well, how would you pay for that? If you borrow your brother's car and if something happened to it, how would you pay for that? Honey, how do you expect you to handle this situation? How do you think I expect you to handle this problem? It's like, I believe you can do it, but how do you think I expect you to do it? You can say, if they're really loud and if it's not the right time to talk, you can say, I appreciate it if you lower your voice and then we can talk. Or I appreciate it if you, look at me in the eyes when I'm talking to you. So there's just a few keywords that we can use to bring them down to our state, like our emotional state. If they're out of control, there's a few words we can use to bring them down so we can talk to them. The main thing that she talked about is like, they need to feel love. They need to feel value. They have to feel like they're in control. That's why we need to give them choices, so they can feel that they're in control, that they know they can think on their own. That's a big one. And we need to make sure that they know that there is consequences for their actions. I hope this information truly helps you with your teenagers as much as it's helping me. One of the things that I need to practice on is in asking more questions, is on starting conversations with those keywords, where I'm showing him that I truly care, and at the same time I'm encouraging his thoughts and encouraging his exploration, so he can see what it could happen if he takes this decision, or if he takes plan B versus plan C. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Please take care.